Right. Greetings and welcome to the Eccentric Perspective. I am your host, Blake Wally. Thought I'd do a little impromptu show today. Sunday, I normally don't do things, but I want to wait till Tuesday. There's been some breaking news, so I thought I would cover a few major topics to cover. We'll do something quick and easy, have a little fun, maybe a few laughs. And we'll take it from there. So let me just run through a couple of headlines. We'll throw an intro. If you guys want to chime in on chat, you are welcome to do so. Perhaps there's another angle or there's some feedback or maybe another story to cover. We shall see. Here's a few of the topics today. Was Joy Reid, was she fired for telling inconvenient truths on MSNBC? And is Elon Musk, is he over the line for asking the feds for proof of work? And is Donald Trump, is he justified for calling out the Governor of Maine? So we'll see these topics, perhaps more on the other side. I'll run a quick stinger and I will see you shortly. Hope that stinger played well. I don't know. Sometimes they look good on my end and then they cut off when I watch them in replay. It's all good. No big deal. But let's get to the breaking news. Okay. Well, happy Sunday, everybody. It is February 23rd of 2025. And Joy Reid is officially out at MSNBC. Surprised she lasted that long. At least according to the Gateway pundit, wacko Joy Reid of Reid Out. The final episode will air this week. It's according to multiple media reports. So she'll be replaced with a program led by 3 anchors. So it's going to take 3 people to fill her big shoes. Simone Sanders Townsend. She's a political commentator and former Democratic strategist. Oh, great. That's just what the world needs, is another strategist perspective. A paid hack of the DNC. Then Michael Steele, the former chairman of the RNC. So we got 2 hacks. You know, he's a super nice guy. I'll give him that, but I could really care less about any of his political commentary. And then we also have TV journalist Alicia Menendez. Not familiar, but I won't be watching unless there's clips to talk about. And that's about it. Really haven't taken MSNBC seriously since the Bush era, when they still had some credibility left. I haven't even seen this clip here, but this is from Colin Rugg, host Joy Reid. She'll have to take a pay cut if she wants to stay in her role. I think that was from a while ago. It was December 19th. As they are, the ratings are not doing so well at MSNBC. They've had a few people take pay cuts, including Rachel Maddow. I think she's also planning to leave. She's going to cover the first 100 days of the Trump presidency, I believe, and then she'll go on to do other things, hopefully out of the public eye. We shall see. So let's take a quick look, even though this is old, and then we'll get to a few of the new things, a couple of the topics, and we'll call it an afternoon. Okay, I don't know what this is, what she's doing. Little peekaboo. How are you, Joy? Too bad this isn't from the day. We'd like to get a live reaction. Okay, well there she is having fun. I guess it was then last December, right before Christmas. Still happy, but probably not today. And what in the world is that sound? Huh. I think I might have to change things. Looks like it's on my end. Okay, we're gonna change that. We're gonna put a little down tempo on, I guess. There we go. Okay. That was abrupt. Okay, but we're all good. Okay, let's take a look at some of the tweets going on with Joy Reid. Booting longtime host, set to Exeter, 7 p.m. The woke race baiting host. Gonna have her final episode. Not sure when that will be. But I'm sure there's gonna be a couple of fun snippets. And I guess the question is there, at least from Kyle Becker, will you miss her? Will anyone actually miss Joy Reid? She's been fired. Turns out calling your political opponents racist Nazis every night for an hour doesn't get viewers. Well, she certainly was quite the agitator for a long time. I'm surprised she lasted this long. Though I think they've kind of been on and off trying to get rid of her somehow. But, she's a feisty one. Probably wasn't going to go quietly. She's worked her way up to that cushy job. But she just couldn't help herself with all of the insanity. So let's check out this clip.
We begin our final sprint, having arrived at that point in the election season where basically we on this side of the TV screen have said all we can. We've laid out the stakes in this crucial election where one side stands for freedom while the other meets the textbook definition of fascism, namely a far-right dictatorial regime like Hitler's Germany or Franco's Spain or Mussolini's Italy, but also white-ruled South Africa before Mandela and the black majority took.
She just says that as though it's fact, like any of those, like comparing MAGA to fascism as if any of those awful regimes had anything like free speech or a right to bear arms or right to be left alone by the government search and seizure. Government by the people, for the people. No, those were brutal dictatorships that have nothing to do with MAGA. But this is why she had no credibility.
Control, or Vladimir Putin's Russia, Viktor Orban's Hungary, or Nicolas Maduro in Venezuela today, that suppresses the rights of women and minorities, uses the military to.
Okay, where is? Not sure where Trump is. Holding down women and minorities, but at least I guess it makes sense in her twisted head. There wasn't any pushback there, but she's finally gone. So no more of this insane radical rhetoric.
Execute the whims of a strongman dictator and controls and suppresses the press, education, the arts, rewrites history to suit a favored and dominant racial class, and foments extravagant corruption.
Race, Russia, Russia. That's par for the course. So, good riddance. Never forget Joy Reid. She got in trouble for stuff when she had written an old blog. She'd written some unsavory things about the LGBTQ community way back when. She's just she had different perspectives. She will change. And she kind of went for the whole radical angle, the agitator angle. But of course, she never actually owned up took some responsibility for stupid things she wrote in the past. It's all good, but I'm pretty sure she's fits the profile of a pathological narcissist. So she can only project. She can never actually take any of the blame herself. And let's move on. She's gonna. Here's from Salty Cracker. She's gonna blame white people in 3, 2, 1. Yeah, let's. That's gonna be coming soon. I'm sure it can't possibly be her fault. Maybe she has a little reality check and goes, "I'm sorry for fanning the flames of fascism and all the dumb things I said over the years. Please forgive me." I want to protect my journalistic integrity. But I'm not sure. I don't know what she's going to do now. I mean, if you're out at MSNBC, what are you going to do? Work for the Daily Wonkat? Daily Beast? I don't know. Where do you go from there? When you're too crazy for MSNBC. Let's see. There's a great tweet from Jason Whitlock. How will MSNBC survive without Rachel Maddow? It's a good one right there. All right, let's take a look at this quick clip.
America, there's a thing about both white vigilantism and white tears, particularly male white tears. Really white tears in general, because that's what Karens are, right? They Karen out, and then as soon as they get caught, it's like, Green Waterworks. White men can get away with that too. And it has the same effect. Even as the right tries to politicize the idea that masculinity is being robbed from American men by multiculturalism and wokeism, they still want to be able to have their tears.
Wow, she is quite wacky. I don't know what's going on. She's a smart lady. I went to Harvard, but she's just got no moral compass. She just speaks her mind, but it's not based in reality that I've seen. Now she will be looking for other work somewhere. Maybe she could be, another DNC strategist. I think that's what she was doing before, anyway. So, well, she gave it a good run, I suppose. Interesting character, but will not be missed by me. Hello, Glenn. Good to see you here. I don't know if I've seen you on Twitter, but thanks for joining in this impromptu Sunday show. 3 quick topics, and we can all go. All right, let's see. What else do we have? I think that's... no, I got one more. I got one more on Joy Reid. Let's take a look. This is from Sean Farash. He does quite a Trump impression, mocking, trolling Joy Reid. Let's let this rip for about 30 seconds.
My fellow Americans, it is my great honor and privilege to say, alongside all of you, Joy Reid, you're fired. Get out. What a nasty person, right? It couldn't have happened to a nastier person, and she's an ugly person, too. She's an ugly person, one of the ugliest people, both inside and out. Joy Reid is so ugly, she makes Rosie O'Donnell look like Cleopatra. And I knew Cleopatra very well. She did a tremendous job in ancient Egypt. What a fantastic leader. But Joy Reid has been fired, and now we can officially retire the Joy Reid safety goggles. Prolonged exposure to Joy Reid can cause retinal damage, itching and burning of the skin or face, explosive diarrhea like Stacey Abrams after Pizza Hut, and projectile vomiting. We don't want that to happen, but now Joy Reid has been fired. Her ratings went down faster than Mitch McConnell on a flight of stairs, and just like Cocaine Mitch, she's fallen and she can't get up. And now we know that the hogs over there on The View, we call them hogs, we call it the zoo, they may be looking for a new cow, right? You look at her, Joy Reid.
All right, I'll run that a little longer. That's pretty funny. Yeah, maybe she can find a place on The View. But some people speculate they might have to dial back the crazy on The View as well. Yes, Glenn, been a while too. Good to see you. You also have a great day. Great to see you. Thanks for stopping in. Okay, what else do we have? We have Trump also, real Trump here, going off on MSNBC, calls network a threat to our democracy. It certainly has been for a long time. They were, believe it or not, they were actually a voice of reason at one point during the Bush era. But ever since Obama, they went so far to the left that they're just unrecognizable these days. And they have to shake things up. So we're going to lose Reid. I don't know what else is on the chopping block. They're going to have to cut some of the big salaries. And that includes Maddow. So see how that develops. And actually, one more since we're on the topic of the DNC, Democrat Party. Whoops, let me move on here. Democrat Party, they're actually having a moment of clarity here, at least one of these strategists. So we've got to give credit where it's due. Democrat Party falling off a cliff. Former Clinton pollster shares the latest bad news for Democrats. So let's just jump to this quick video here.
Let's start with the Democrats first. Why are they failing to connect with the American people a month into this administration?
Well, I've got some new polling coming out Monday that I've just looked at, and frankly, the Democratic Party is falling off a cliff. The ratings, which were in the high 40s, are going to be like 35%. And I think the basic question, who's doing better job as president, Biden or Trump? Trump is winning that with 57%. I think you're seeing a retrospective assessment of Biden and the direction the Democratic Party was going. It really a lot more negative than it was on election day. And they're looking at the contrast on immigration, on economic policy, on some of the social policies. And boy, they're reevaluating. In the Democratic Party, I have never seen anything like this. This is a record low for the Democratic Party in terms of favorability. It has fallen really, really way down, and I don't think there's any leadership right now that's going to be able to bring that back.
Yeah, pretty much nailed it. So it's refreshing to see. Time for a reality check. I don't know who they're going to get some voices of reason in there. But there aren't any. They've totally lost the plot. They're just radicalized, unhinged, and need a reckoning and to reinvent themselves with some new people. Otherwise, they have no chance to compete with the Make America Great Again Republicans. And without Obama, without the Clintons, who do they have? Who's their new next generation of talent coming from? You're gonna get Hakeem Jeffries, AOC, David Hogg. They're a mess right now. He's not the only Democratic strategist calling this out. I know James Carville is beside himself. He's gone insane over the years, but he also recognizes that how bad off everything is right now. The new Gen Z and the new Democratic Party, not good. So, be curious to see how they evolve in the next few years. Or are they just going to continue to become more unhinged and just go full fascist, communist, or what have you? We shall see. It's going to be interesting. Just glad Trump won, and we didn't get stuck with Kamala and her insanity. Yeah, things are so bad. She's still the front runner, even though she's there's no reason to be there. Okay, well, let's see. Let's get to the next story. That's going to be with Musk and Trump. Really, it's the whole Doge thing. And are they over the line for asking feds for proof of work? Let's jump into this story. So this is out of the Hill. Their advertisements here. Musk sending a warning to federal employees over new Trump policy. It's warned federal employees that was on Saturday. That would be yesterday, of a new policy requiring them to detail their work efforts via email in order to keep their jobs. Kind of like the whole scene in Office Space. They're asking people, what would you say you do here? And it seems pretty routine, although people are they're really freaking out about this. But we'll cover this. It seems pretty reasonable once you actually look at the details here. So consistent with President Trump's instructions, all federal employees will shortly receive an email. So we'll probably see one Monday morning when they get in. And it's just a request to understand what they got done last week. And they've got a head start. known about this Saturday. They'll get their email, and they should have plenty of time to prepare for what's ahead. And failure to respond will be taken as a resignation. So, I guess, okay, the deadline is Monday at 11:59 p.m. So, I guess they'll have, they've got word of it. They'll get their email. They make a quick response, and it's just easy. It's just 5 bullet points of what you accomplished last week, and CC your manager on it. And then, obviously, please don't send any classified information links or attachments. Make it quick and easy. Just a check-in. Seems reasonable to me, and I think most people. What did you do last week? Doge email questionnaire. I don't want to be repeating information, but I'm just looking at it from the left wing and the right wing. Here it is. Get to the next one. There's several articles about it. Time to get aggressive. Time to crack down. This is what the Doge team is sent in to do. It's outsider perspective. Oh, here it is. Here's the scene from Office Space. I won't. Oh, it's just GIF, so I don't have to worry about any copyright claims or anything like that. But there it is. What would you say you do here? Very simple question. But with some people, they don't do much. It's federal. Some of these federal employees, they might not even show up to work. They got it a little too easy. So somebody who actually did used to be a voice of reason on MSNBC and is an occasional voice of reason today, once in a while, is Cenk Uygur of Young Turks. But he disagrees here. He says Elon is demanding that every federal worker justify their job to him, otherwise they'll be fired. I know a lot of MAGA will see that as taking an axe to the government like they wanted. The rest of the country sees the top donor to the president running the country like a madman. I don't know. I don't think I believe that at all. I think this is a very simple assignment. I mean, talk about 5 bullet points. I mean, I do this stuff with the shows, independently. Now, today there's only 3 bullet points because I'm only doing a quick Sunday show, quick update. I didn't want to wait till Tuesday with all of this hot breaking news. So I only did 3. I did 6, 7, and 9 last week. It's pretty simple. What did you do? But if that's too much to ask, then I don't think these people should be paid with our tax dollars. But maybe I'm out of line. I don't know. Elon's saying here they're covering immense fraud, but he's saying the reason this matters is that a significant number of the people who are supposed to be working for the government are doing so little work that they are not checking their email even at all. So in some cases, they believe non-existent people or the identities of dead people are being used to collect paychecks. In other words, there is outright fraud. So there could, I'm not saying there is, there could be people that are on payrolls, they've got some government job, they're collecting their paychecks every couple of weeks, but they're not actually doing anything because they're not even alive. There's nobody to respond to these emails. That could be one thing. There could be another where we just have lazy, entitled workers that have they haven't shown up for work since 2020 or what have you. But they're not really doing much. Or like in the case of the movie Office Space, you have a guy who does get fired and starts panicking when they question him because he really doesn't do anything. But they got to cut the dead weight. Hello, Gyps Liberty. Good to see you. Appreciate your support and your likes on Twitter. Yeah, what do you do here? Exactly. This is very simple. I don't think this is not hardcore at all. This isn't even on the spot. You got all day to write an email. You could probably use Grok to write an email for you. Just give me 5 things that you think I did. Perhaps. It's an easy way to do it. But it's not, as confrontational as if you get a couple of outsiders. That's exactly what happened with Office Space. If I remember right, I think they were hired also as outsiders to just interview people and see how things work. That's just how business is. But things have gotten too sloppy in the government, and it's time to clean things out, make it more efficient. Well, I think we should all agree on that, but not everybody sees it that way. Let's take a look. It's from Philip Anderson. Yeah, maybe time to fire all the useless woke federal employees, and we can save money on that way. Give all the tax money back to the American taxpayers. Yeah, what did you get done last week? Cried about Trump, cried about Elon, made it into the office only because they wanted to force you into it. Read some emails, and then cried about Trump and Elon some more. Probably are. I'm sure there are actual federal employees that this is their week in the life. Now it's time to cut the dead weight. Good point here from DC Drano. Says media is freaking out because Elon is asking our public servants to send a single email listing 5 work tasks they completed last week while they get paid 6-figure salaries with our tax dollars. That's what's making them flip out, which is what Jeffrey Tucker says. It's completely conventional in the service industry when there's new management, and it's only causing screams and panics because it's the government. So, again, this all seems perfectly reasonable. Another tweet here from Kyle Becker. This is this is like an AI generated picture of that Office Space scene. Failure to respond will be taken as a resignation. Now Doge has literally become an Office Space meme. Sure has. Okay. Yeah. All right, but I don't think I have anything more to add on that particular issue. So we can just jump to the third and the last on this quick Sunday update broadcast, special weekend edition of the Eccentric Perspective. And that would be, is Donald Trump, is he justified for calling out the Governor of Maine? This is quite an interesting story as well. It's going to be a little legal battle, perhaps. I had never heard of this Governor of Maine, but now they've made a national story out of it, perhaps international. So the probe of the Maine Education Department has been initiated over men competing in women's sports. The investigation follows Trump's remarks that federal funding for Maine will be stopped if it does not protect women's sports from male competition. So, again, it's another thing that seems to be common sense, but is being resisted by the radical leftists, at least in the state of Maine. So, U.S. Department of Education said it launched an investigation over the Maine Department of Education over its approval of male participation in women's sporting events. The investigation being initiated by the Federal Department's Office for Civil Rights amid allegations that it continues to allow male athletes to compete in girls' interscholastic athletics, and that it has denied female athletes female-only intimate facilities. That would mean they have men basically using the women's locker room, biological males. So not probably a healthy situation. It's certainly gotten out of control over the years. And now that Trump has been elected, there's going to be changing of some of the policy here. Yeah, Trump calling out the Maine governor for refusing to protect women. And let me play this video because this was quite explosive and hilarious. So let's take a look in case you missed it.
The NCAA has complied immediately, by the way. That's good. But I understand Maine. Is Maine here, the governor of Maine? Are you not going to comply with it? Well, we are the federal law. Well, you better do it. You better do it because you're not going to get any federal funding at all if you don't. And by the way, your population, even though it's somewhat liberal, although I did very well there, your population doesn't want men playing in women's sports. So you better comply because otherwise you're not getting any federal funding. Every state, good. I'll see you in court. I look forward to that. That should be a real easy one. And enjoy your life after governor because I don't think you'll be in elected politics.
Yeah, that was awesome. And it gets weird now because as we learn more about this person, Janet, I believe, right? Janet Mills. There's more details. The dam is broken on the weirdness of who this person actually is. So let's take a look at this. This is from Matt Gaetz, doing some great work as a DC outsider now, but he's showing a little show and tell for us to see. So the governor of Maine was at a drag show. This was out of Portland. I don't know when, but and that's okay. You can participate in a drag show. I don't care. It makes you a colorful character as far as I'm concerned. But start to kind of question who this person actually is. What kind of identity do they have? And is this affecting their policy? I also thought it was funny. Gaetz says in related news, shrooms are awesome. Certainly are. This looks very psychedelic. So let's run this clip. Actually, I might have to take the music off just in case I don't trigger YouTube and their copyrights. But here we go. Okay, there you have it. So, Governor Janet Mills refuses to comply with Trump's ban on men and women's sports is, at least according to Tony Saruga, perhaps a tranny, a man pretending to be a woman. Janet was reportedly spotted at a perverted drag show. Well, that's subjective. Whatever. Everyone's got a place and everyone can be themselves. And I don't care if it is a man or a woman. I don't care if it's a tranny and you want to do drag shows. But can we just agree that men, biological men, should not play in women's sports? Seems obvious. Seems common sense. And that's the only issue I have with this. So if Maine wants to elect a man pretending to be a woman, that's cool. Let's side on the side of common sense, and I'll agree on certain things I think everybody should agree on, but I guess they're going to fight it. Yeah, these people are mentally sick and corrupt to the bone. And I guess on a phone call, even President Trump referred to him as a he and a him 6 different times. I have not listened to that. But yeah, there's something wrong. And it's time to get back to an era of sanity as far as I'm concerned. So, yeah, it got weird. And it's probably not going to be a legal battle that Janet is going to win. Some of these guys have absolutely been slaughtering them. They're physically doing like damage, physical damage, and absolutely destroying all the records. It's making a mockery of women's sports, and it's gone far enough. So anyway, no federal funds for Janet. We'll see if there's some pressure from the people of Maine to tell her to find another battle to fight. That's not a hill to die on. But I think that's all I have today. So great to see you, Glenn and Gyps Liberty, and anybody else lurking out there. tuning in. I'll be doing these shows, I think, Tuesday and Thursday, 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And the archive will always be on the website, the Next Level News. Go check that out, and I'll make little video highlights and such. So thank you for tuning in. Please like and subscribe if you'd like. I'll do this again. So thank you. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Love you guys, and we'll see you again soon. But I am going to say goodbye. Take care, everybody.